Hi, it's Fran, again, on the bench with a pedal that's come in for repair. This is a Peachfuzz. Vintage. A little bit of use, as my pedals tend to have. A little bit of wear. This has come in for repair. Apparently, someone had tried to get it repaired by someone who went in and did some things, and it still doesn't work. And so, yeah, I'm actually a little afraid to open it up. But oh yeah, my gorgeous clear feet have been removed, which is also very typical, and Velcro has been put on to the bottom for a pedal board. Yeah, extra crusty. Just like with all the used pedals, they throw in the dirt, hair, and cat hair for free. Alright. So this is date coded 2004. December 2004, so I have a feeling that they replaced my crowbar with incorrect components. That would be one guess. But I mean, oh crap. Someone's gotten creative and they've replaced all of the ICs and put sockets in. Why? Why? Yeah, it's not really Peachfuzz anymore. They replaced the M1s with N4s, which, yeah, that's not Peachfuzz. And you're going to say, oh, well, the N4 is better. Yeah, well, it's not a Frantone anymore. No, this is not kosher. The idea that it doesn't work anymore, even with all that, it should function. First thing I do is just hook up the ohm meter to the poles and check for shorts. Well, it looks okay. Caps are charging. No shorts. No dead shorts. Socket's okay, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Very common when the crowbars burn out, they melt the jack, and I often have to replace it, but this one I'm not going to replace. But I'm going to replace it with my PTC crowbar. So yeah, a little upgrade. Get a very different reading on that, I'm sure. problem is that, well, that diode was probably not the right diode, but the thing too is when they replaced the ICs and put in sockets, whoever did that, they did not clip off the leads. They just kind of left them hanging there, and I think they might have actually shorted out, because when they put the base plate back on, it's possible that one of those leads actually is going through and push through and actually make contact with the back plate. It's possible. I'm going to trim those off. There's also a lot of flux residue on there. They didn't clean the flux out, so I'm going to go through and pick all that out. You can also end up with problems with these if they tried to mix lead-free solder with this. It can also create connection problems with the flow, because I conformal coated the boards. That was another thing. Boards would be conformal coated, so the flux just kind of mixes in with the conformal coating because it melts when you heat it with the soldering iron, and that can become conductive over time. Toothbrush. Yeah, that definitely would have some bearing on it. The broken wire. Yeah, didn't even see that. That's how you do that. Yeah, alright. Also noticed that when they put it back together, they crushed the ground wire coming from one of the pots underneath the nut. That definitely couldn't have been good. Although the Teflon insulation is pretty rugged, but it's not impermeable. You crush that and you can get down to the fibers, which I'm sure that they did. A little more careful than they were putting that back together. Side check on the wires before we wang it down. A lot of times when I get pedals back, people have either cut off the battery thing or taped it up and everything because they're concerned with it shorting out, and that's just not the case, because that's what the switch and the jack is for. When you got a power supply plugged in there, it cuts off the battery positive, so there's never any danger of it shorting out. Not if it's working anyway. But, alright, so let's give it a listen. Pots are dirty. Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. Well, I guess first thing we're going to do is spritz the pots. Alright, spritz the pots. Sounds like shit. There's a lot of noise. Non-Frantone regulation chips. Really noisy. So they put in those dash 4s. It's not supposed to have that kind of hiss. Yeah, that's not good. Don't replace the original chips, kids. My guess is that they bought some counterfeit chips off eBay or whatever, and my guess is those are not actually genuine ICs at all. I'm gonna go in my bins and see if I can grab some chips, genuine vintage National Semiconductor LM386N-1s, no substitute. When the clips snap off, I just tape the end. That's just as good as anything else. Yep, alright, so we got the 386s. Just gotta find a 2262. I think I've got, still have some 2262s. 2262s. Well, I guess I'll be taking advantage of their sockets to put in genuine components. Oh, I hate sockets. I hate sockets. Oh man, you know what? Not only didn't they clip off the bottoms of the sockets, but they didn't even put them down to the circuit board. Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate sockets. It's probably the reason it sounds like shit. It's just more leads above the board and above the ground plane, and you're talking about really high gain stuff. It's just I wouldn't be surprised if it's the problem. I fucking hate sockets. There's a reason why we don't put sockets in a Frantone. There are reasons why. Ugh. You see that cap is out of... that's supposed to be perpendicular to the board, but it isn't because the socket's in the way. Jesus. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, it's definitely somebody's project here. Well, they even replaced the frickin' 5088. You gotta be kidding me. They replaced... they even... oh, Jesus. Ugh. Gonna kill me. This is frickin' A. like it didn't work, so they just replaced everything. Oh man. Yeah, there's a 5080 in here that's it's used as a mute up. I did it because of the high gain. It's an anti-popping thing. It engages before the relay engages, and because it's faster. And I found that, you know, with the microphonics of the audio switching relay, telecommunications relay down there, switching the audio, but with the really high microphonics on the board with extremely high gain, I found it was really helpful to have a mute-up transistor, which would actually mute the output during switching so that it would actually switch faster than the flop. So it would mute up the effect before the contacts would slam, and you wouldn't hear the bang of hitting the foot switch through the effect. So it looks like they crushed all the wires. This lead wire's been crushed too, and it feels funky. I wouldn't be surprised if these wires are actually broken inside. That's really been crushed. So it's at least 2, 3 crushed wires in there from somebody messing around with it. Yeah, it's a very simple procedure. Just kind of look at the side of the board and see if there's anything under the nut before you tighten it down, but for some reason people just don't do that. It's like, it'd be so easy to just look in there and see if there are any wires like actually under the switch before you wind it down, but no, people don't do that. Alright, well, new chips, if it's still noisy, then it's probably that transistor that they put in to replace, or it's all the flux on the board. Oh man. Oh, nice and quiet. Yeah. About as good as it's going to get, unless I replace the whole board. But yeah, those sockets are definitely not helping out the noise problem. All it does is lift the chip off the ground plane, and you're just floating it up. But yeah. Okay, well that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks too to all my patrons down there in the Patreon, making all of these videos possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Would not be able to do any of this without the patrons. And yeah, I'll be back here at the bench doing something else real soon. Bye! In the lab. That's where I work. In the lab. Go berserk. In my lab. That's where I work. That's what you're watching. Friend love. That's what I'm doing. Working at the bench again.